I would like to welcome everyone to the Simon Fairfield Public Library Trustees Agenda for March 24th, 2026 at 6:30 p.m. Um, we have a quorum, and minutes from February 24th were sent out. So hopefully everyone has received them, had a chance to read. Uh, do I hear a motion to accept the minutes?
Motion to accept the minutes from February 27th?
Fourth.
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 Is there a second?
Second.
All right, let's open it up to discussion. Questions, corrections?
None.
Okay. Hearing none, all those in favor of accepting the minutes from February 24th, 2026, please say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Hearing none, it was approved unanimously for the minutes to be accepted. So moving on to the financial report, and I know Justin has sent out some emails regarding what's happening right now and the near future. So we'll let Justin go through things as he has them.
For this part of the financial report, just reporting on our budget status as of yesterday, we're in a very good spot. We are 72.8% of the way through the fiscal year. We've only spent 69% of our budget. And that has been noticed. So operationally, we're good, but like most of that surplus that you're seeing is coming from our compensations line item because it's also just the massive lion's share of our budget. We have $8,000 in there that is going to be pretty much impossible for us to spend by the end of the fiscal year. Nor would we want to. It would be bad stewardship. So what Gene and Matt have asked is that they basically sent a call out to all departments to look for anything we could make available for transfer at special town meeting out of this year's budget. And we found this $8,000, which they would like to transfer through interdepartmental transfer, the same we did at the last town meeting, to the fire department, so they don't have to lay anybody off.
Okay.
Where is the 8,000 coming from?
Compensations, personnel. Because whenever we adjusted our math down, because whenever Marco left, we didn't replace him. And then at fall town meeting, we turned back some of the budget that we didn't need anymore, but we didn't turn it all back because we like buffers. So this buffer is there. Normally it would turn back to free cash at the end of the fiscal year, but they kind of need it sooner. So they want to transfer it out at the special town meeting that's right before the annual town meeting. And me and Gene calculated how many payrolls we have left and what our maximum and minimum that we might spend towards the end of the year. And this $8,000 is just there.
I didn't realize Marco had left.
Yeah, that came up in a few meetings ago. Maybe you weren't in that one.
I've been here. I missed last October. That's the last one I missed.
That might have been it.
That might have been it, actually.
Oh,
Because, it happened long enough ago that we were able to readjust the schedule and then, turn back the extra budget at fall town meeting. I think it was.
oh,
But yeah, so that was why we did the budget adjustment and why we did the personnel shuffle that led to the we extended Lisa's hours basically and extended some page hours instead of hiring another library assistant. That was enough to fill the gap, and it was a cheaper way to plug the hole.
Okay. All right. Carrie?
So does
Does,
anyone?
I just have a question about the $8,000 and the transfer, if it came out of our budget. Does this affect the MAR, the municipal
It does not.
authorization?
MAR. I was told by Kate from the MBLC is only that initial appropriation. If you don't spend it, it doesn't matter, and if you turn it back, it doesn't matter. It's all just the original appropriation.
Well, I mean, if you're turning it back at the special town meeting, which is not, that reduces it, doesn't it, from what you were originally given?
It does, but they don't count it. They only go by the initial voted on initial budget. Because I asked.
Well, you say there's no way we're not going to be able to spend it because, okay, I understand that's the only place where you can't
Yeah, it's like, yeah, we can't
move
transfer it
things
anywhere
around.
else. And
Yeah.
even if we ran max personnel for the rest of the year and did some extra coverage, then we would still
Yeah.
transferring this out. We'd still have plenty.
So, I'm thinking we probably need to vote on that.
Right.
I honestly don't know because they write the transfer articles, but it wouldn't hurt. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but we're the ones that are the trustees of the library. And so
Yes.
we have to somehow, it's not between you and the administrators. It's the trustees that have to say, yes, we agree with you. And
Yep.
so I'll make a motion to transfer at the special town meeting in May, uh, from our compensation department or whatever it's called, to the town, and then the town can decide where to put it.
Can I just amend that and say it should say transfer $8,000 from personnel to the fire department to their
No,
We
it's not
don't
us.
want to do that. We just want to make it
that.
available for transfer at fall town
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
or special spring special town meeting.
So I just don't want it to get, I'd like to see it used for that because that's a thing that we would need to look at as far as the
Well, that's-
town goes.
The town
All right, so
meeting
let's just
is
finish.
voting on that.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor to transfer $8,000 to whatever appropriations, general fund,
Personnel compensations.
personnel. All right, transfer $8,000 from our personnel to well, I have to have somebody else.
Want me to write it?
Yeah, that would
Yeah,
be
and
nice.
then Ellie can read it, and then someone
Yeah.
can second it.
Okay. But this helps me also when I have to do minutes.
Mhm.
Mm.
We should
Yes.
always do it this way.
Yeah. Okay, I move, from compensation. Line item.
That's it.
To the town.
Yeah, it has to
Make
go from
available for
somewhere to somewhere.
transfer to the town. At spring special town meeting.
Okay, that sounds good.
Work.
Okay, I move that.
Do I hear a
Or do you want me
second?
to read it?
Well, if you have it in the minutes, I think we're good, and it's here on the screen.
Okay, I mean, yeah, it will be in the minutes just like this, so that's good.
Okay. And second?
Seconded.
All right. Now we can ask questions, discussion. Hearing none. All those in favor of transferring $8,000 from compensation to what Ellie had proposed? Say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Okay. Okay. So we can move on from there.
Trustees have gotten significantly richer because the bank donated $2,500 to us. Munging Cornish Golf Design didn't make it in because it didn't come quick enough. Also donated $500. And we made a lot of money in interest in February. February was a very good interest month. So we almost get to $300,000 in capital funds. And I mean,
All righty, look at that.
if the Bartholomew accounts keep doing what they're doing, we'll get there before next month, whether we do anything or not. So hopefully next month we can celebrate a milestone.
Yeah, great.
Unrestricted funds also got the bump because the Unibank donation went into those accounts. Everything else is still pretty much the same.
Cool.
Okay, very good.
Okay. Are we good to move on? All right, moving on to the director's report.
February was pretty terrible. For about a week, you couldn't even use the sidewalks in front of the library because, Adam had 3 highway guys out and 2 contractors' equipment broke down at the same time. It was a worst case scenario for downtown Douglas. But, we made it. It's fine. The door count was just barely less than 1,000, which we haven't seen since, pre-pandemic. And our number of active borrowers dipped for the first time ever that I'm aware of, just because there were fewer people coming in and finding out their library cards were expired and renewing them. So I expect that, like this dip off will kind of like pick back up as soon as people come back. Because even this week we've noticed, lots of people coming in with expired cards. Physically, we provided just over 3,000 items from our collection. 1,609 stayed here. 1,425 went out into the network. The only thing worth talking about is books. Everything else could be a rounding error. We're still very book driven in our material circulation. Age breakdown: 748 early readers, 360 juveniles, 275 youth, 79 teen, which, despite being a decimal number, is actually an uptick. Adult: 1,537 and 35 others.
What are others? I mean, I was, when I was doing the minutes, I'm saying, what is other? But
I think those are probably institutional accounts, like cards we have created for like the Douglas Public Schools. I mean, they don't have an age range on them. It's just institutional.
Yeah.
And we have another one that we created for Josh Tatro to put holds and check out items for the correctional facility in northern Massachusetts. So we supply some books that way as well. And those are other patrons. So we provided more than we borrowed. Our patrons only borrowed 2,713 items. Again, vast majority books. 292 were DVDs. We had, I think, 90 some odd CDs, and then everything else was just like 20, 30, 10. Digitally, we provided 4,025 items, and this is a number that hits above our weight because it speaks to how much we've invested in Overdrive over the years before other libraries had really figured out how it worked. And there's still lots of libraries who refuse to because they're like, well, the consortium can cover that, and we're not going to invest any extra in it. And so I hope that changes. But we contribute a lot. our patrons also borrow a lot. I did a few little searches every now and then. I just try to figure out what weight we're hitting at in terms of what our patrons borrow digitally. And Fitchburg, we're at Fitchburg level of digital borrowing.
Wow. That's amazing.
Oh.
And Millbury is about where we are too.
Oh,
Millbury.
wow.
Interesting.
Wilbur is big.
And we just have a lot of digital adoption. I mean, it comes from being one of the smallest libraries at CWMRs. People use the phones more.
Mhm.
But I kept my director's report pretty short, just focusing on that because I figured there was plenty of other things to talk about in the agenda. Although some of those things have kind of gone away. If you read my most recent email,
I
Yeah.
didn't get a chance to read it yet. I don't know if we should stop.
do we want to skip ahead to that and talk about the FY27 budget and MAR now?
Um, this- there was just, you brought up a very interesting point about going back to how patrons were using the back door
Mm-hmm.
when the stairs were inaccessible, and making that, how hard would that be to do? I'm all in favor of looking into that more. Maybe put that on the agenda for next month.
Oh, I got it on this one. It's in the
Yeah, quickly.
accessibility section.
Well, why don't we just
Yeah.
go along with this one?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, whatever.
Well,
Accessibility.
then we would be there. Oh, old business, building projects, accessibility. Yeah, I would be interested in scoping out if this is something we could maybe do with the remainder of our repairs and maintenance budget for the year.
Mm,
Through Brian LaValle, because we don't need to buy chairs anymore. Thank you, Lori. And so I think it would be worth pricing out what it would cost to put in a door that has a little bit of visibility through it. It wouldn't have to be like a whole glass thing. And then just pop it where the fire door is and make that the first step. I mean, eventually we would need to address the fact that the bottom of the steps will need to connect to the driveway. That could be the next step. We could address that next year. But I mean, for the time being, having a door back there at all would be better than not having a door back there at all, I think. And then people would be able to go straight from the parking lot into the library. Is it an ADA fix? No, but I kind of had a thought. Screw ADA. We've
Doing it for 30 years.
well, we're by trying to get to full compliance. We've made perfect the enemy of good for a really, really long time.
Mhm.
And if we start making little increments, like the way you've been talking about, that, they don't address the problem all at once, but they get us closer. I mean, getting people into the back door, helping people up those stairs is a lot easier than helping them around the driveway and up the other stairs, or telling them to park in another institution's parking and try to navigate that sidewalk. And from there, we'll already have a door there. So it would be a lot easier to scope out what it would take to get people from that level to the driveway level and down.
right.
So it could be a logical first step on the way to getting a Lula lift out there.
I agree. So I know we want to get into the budget, but can we,
Well, we can do that at the end. It's good news.
okay, but, okay. So how do we want to approach this?
I mean, I can just ask Brian how much it would cost if y'all want. Come back to the next
Yeah.
meeting.
Yes.
So
Okay,
I'm not,
perfect.
could you have I'm not sure I understand what you're doing. Is it a new door and what, one step, or an elevator's down step, or a ramp, or what is it?
Well, this
in
would
there?
just be replacing the fire door with a door that patrons could come in and out of. So patrons could go up and down the fire steps and we just make that another
Oh,
Why
wait a
don't we
minute.
make
Fire,
it-
what,
Where does
Yes,
it
I'm
come
not-
in?
the fire escape at the top of the stairs
And that
In the
comes
back of the
in children's
building.
room?
in the back of the building. It's like in the early readers room right now. It's
Oh, okay.
so I thought, what, so so you're putting in a different fire door there then, up there.
basically, yes, just replacing the fire door with an actual door.
You mean the door that you can come in now in the back, or a different door?
A door people would be able to come in and out of.
It would be,
But not the
they
door
would
that's
go up
there
and-
now?
What about,
Yeah, it
I-
it won't open and shut. It's like a crash bar door.
are you talking at the top of the fire escape?
Yes.
You're not talking about the one that goes into the program room.
Yeah,
Right.
no, not that one, the one at the top.
Why wouldn't we make the one in the program room so that it would be wide enough for a wheelchair and let people come in there?
There's steps there.
There's steps. It's not,
Not
at ground
many.
level.
Well, I know, but
And it's also like we want a way for patrons to come in and out like all the time. Basically, if you park back there, you can come into the library without having
yeah,
to
by
walk
that
around the
door.
building. But if there was a program going on, you wouldn't be able to come in that door.
Quietly.
I thought there was a picture of the back of the library somewhere in this packet. Yeah, this guy.
There you go.
Oh, oh.
Because right now people can park in the back. If they went into the side door that goes down, they'd have to go down 3 flights of steps. So either way, there's steps. And then they're in the building, but they would have to come up the switchback steps on the inside to get to the main floor. So unless they're coming in for a program, they're still going to have to climb the internal stairs. So the easiest way in is actually up through the fire escape stairs and into the fire door into the early readers room.
Okay.
And then they're in. They're on the main floor. The circ desk is right around the corner.
Okay, and I was thinking, I really like the idea, and then I thought, here we are, we've got to make sure that the area is secured so the little ones don't run out the door. So
we'll
a
just move
simple
them
gate,
to the juvenile room. I'll take the early readers books, move them to the juvenile area.
it doesn't
and then
even,
either
I would
shuffle.
say just you put on a gate that an adult, a childproof gate. You open that door, it swings out. So you get to the top of the stairs to come in. The door swings out. There's a gate there that an adult can, you know how
Yeah, we
gates
have
work.
one of those on our regular stairs.
Yeah.
You just pull it
So-
across and cut it off.
Yeah. So that a child can't, if somebody, for say, doesn't shut the door right, whatever, that gate is there, and if obviously the parent, the person the adult caregiver is responsible, and there'd have to be signage about that. But or if you feel you could move the juvenile books
Even if we did
around.
that, I would still want to move the toys and things from this area just over to this corner because that's an easy kind of 1-for-1 swap. We've got tables over here, toys over here. We just flip them around, and then that's not a kid play area anymore.
Right. Okay. I think it's doable. Like you
liked,
say, Justin,
And then
It's a
if we have
start.
a door here and we have a door there going into the basement. We could get somebody to dig a hole right there and put a platform lift in.
Hmm.
Surreptitiously.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that might work.
That's why I think
Well,
it
that's
might be
just
just
to the bottom. Yeah, but that's taking up less room than a ramp.
yeah, a ramp would have to be huge. It would look
Hmm.
like one of those like vertical rice paddies. But yeah, if you all want, I will come back with a quote from Brian LaValle next month on making that a better door.
Yeah, I think that's good. All right.
The other thing I had in the accessibility section was y'all wanted the language that we had used whenever we put that draft scope out to Weston and Sampson. This is it, but I have also been informed that that is a terrible scope because it's we're asking them to kind of quote us out too many things. So the
Yeah,
scope, if we wanted to go this route, we would need like a very, very narrower scope. But right now, I think we're kind of at a phase where we're not even thinking about big scopes and projects, and we want
I agree.
to do the
Yeah.
piecemeal thing.
Yeah, I think as we move forward to, looking at our upcoming finances, that we might want to, yeah.
I have a question about if you were saying that we can spend 30% of the assessed value of the library, which is $60,570, and if you multiply it out by that 100%, that comes out to about $210,000 worth. That's what they're assessing the library at $210. I mean,
210,000, yeah, the building.
yeah, yeah, which is that's. I don't think you can build a house for that.
No,
You know, a little house, even.
you can't,
You
you, you
I'm
can't
not sure the
renovate a
assessments have any
bathroom for
basis in
that.
reality.
Oh, I think you could, but you buy a toilet and you buy a sink, and
Oh, I have a toilet sitting in my back bedroom is waiting to get put in. So,
I mean, you definitely can build a house for
well, so
$250,000. You
I
just
was
can't do it
curious about
up to
that
code in the
six.
state of Massachusetts.
Okay, I haven't asked my question yet. For is this 60,570 $570, is that the amount that can be spent annually on and not get badness from or is it forever?
I think it's a 3-year rolling period.
The 60,000?
It's not an ADA thing. Give me 2 secs. Mass mod. Compliance triggered it.
And is it also that low because the town doesn't pay real estate taxes, so they don't care, what it's assessed at. But is it used for insurance needs? How
I
much?
think so.
So that's a cheap way too. I'm surprised that they would do something like that, but
Massachusetts Architectural Access Board. They're the ones who set the regulations, not the Massachusetts Office on Disability.
okay. So this is called what? Or what's the website number?
It's the Massachusetts Architectural Access Board, MAAB.
MMAB. MAAB.
or MAAB. Dense computers.
MAAB. Massachusetts Access
Architectural.
Architectural Board. Architecture Board. Or thereabouts. Okay.
Not where I thought it was.
All right. I don't want to tie it up too much, but now I know where to look.
I will find out.
Okay.
Yeah, I know you can't expend that much on a single project. You can't expend that much in a single fiscal year. But I don't think it resets at the end of the fiscal year, but I do think it resets on some schedule.
Okay.
Well,
But anything over 50,000 has to go before capital
it has to go,
anyway.
right,
Bids and things.
right. So we're starting with getting a cost for changing out that door right now, right? So that's where we're starting. Am I correct?
I think so.
Yeah, Brian LaValle will he'll get a quote from Brian. We don't have to vote on it yet. Let's get some
No,
money.
we're just going to wait for, Justin
Yeah.
said he would have something for us, hopefully for next meeting. And we could take it from there, and then we can look into, it's
It'll
not
have
going
to
to
be
cost
next
anywhere
meeting
near
because we're
that.
too close to the end of the fiscal year for it not to be next meeting.
Right, exactly. And I can get into that a little bit when we talk about open meeting laws. A tiny bit about subcommittees or whatever, but still has to be approved by the board. That would be the end of April. Yeah, does the work has to be completed by June 30th, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, find out what can be done. I think it's a great step. No pun intended.
Yeah, right.
I would much prefer doing that and parking my car around the back
Yeah.
Yeah,
and coming around the
patrons
front and
have
then
complained
climbing up
about
those
for
stairs.
a long time. And, it's like people ask, why can't we go out this door? A lot of times we do let people go out that door. If like we know they're parked out there and they're going out the back, then we don't stop them. I turned the sensor off on the fire crash bar a long time ago because, it was just going off all the time. And, why not make it an entrance? It's a public building. We want people to have as many ways to get in as possible.
Right.
So does
Okay.
the fire department have to approve that, or you
We can ask
can
them
you
later.
get rid of what
We can ask them later.
after the fact?
Well, you're not
You
taking
know the
away an
saying
exit.
about forgiveness?
We're making a better
No.
egress.
Yes.
Dana's asking a question.
Oh,
Do we need dedicated fire doors?
we'll still have one because the one in the basement is. And it's all just about egress, getting people from places out as quick as possible. So I don't think it matters whether it's a fire door or if it's just a door.
Okay. Okay, then. Are we ready to move on to the next thing, which is Lula lifts?
Sure.
I don't have anything new to report on those this
Yeah, I
month.
think
I
that's
had
gonna.
started conversations with Matt about it because he actually was part of a sports complex that installed a lift, and he was going to try to figure out, some people to direct me to. But then we started dropping bombs instead and had to redo all of our contracts.
Yeah, not funny, but all right. So We'll keep that on the agenda for now,
Good
I
on.
guess, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So then mini splits.
It's warm, but it's not dry yet. So
I don't consider 34 degrees very warm.
I
after what
know.
we went through this winter, I do. It was nice and sunny this afternoon.
It was sunny through the glass.
No, I thought I took low temperature sensor off. I thought you told me to, Justin.
It was still there, so I just left it, but we could take it off.
Okay, good.
Other building projects, I don't know if there are any.
We already did that.
Well, no, that's just other
Mhm.
in that whole series of
Under
stuff.
building projects, okay.
Yeah. So
I don't think so. Summer
Not
reading
working on anything
program.
else related to the building.
I think we have a focus right now for that door. Let's take little baby steps and say we did it. Just like with refinishing the doors out front and those little baby steps of other things. And when it's done, you can stand back and say, oh my goodness, that looks so good. Let's take another baby step and move on to the summer reading program.
This was originally on the agenda because there was questions about how we would fund it. Because we had unfunded programs because the Douglas Cultural Council didn't have enough money to fund all their requesters. But Unibank has donated $2,500, so now this is no longer an issue.
Right.
Awesome. They're great. That's great.
So it'll take care of it and then some.
So then
We only
speaking of
we only
us,
needed $500.
yeah.
Six.
So speaking of awesome, let's move on to chairs.
yeah.
Do you want to talk about this, Lori?
Well, the first round of chairs, I think, are those Windsors that were in the upstairs, in the attic of the library. Justin brought me, I believe, 5 of them, and as of today, they're all done. I'm just waiting for them to dry, and then I will be asking if Justin can come and get them and bring whatever's left, and I'll get those done as well. It takes a little over a week for me to sand and restain the seats and any of the other spots that have been scratched up. I'm basically trying to sand out the scratches and put a new coat of stain and then put a poly coat over it to protect it. So once those are done, I'll be talking with the owner of Grill 122, and he's going to coordinate when his friend can bring those chairs to him, and we will figure out transportation to get those chairs to my basement so I can work on those and get them ready for the library. So that's moving right along.
That's fantastic.
Thank you, Lori.
Awesome, Lori.
Thank you.
You're the best.
You know, I'm
Lori's
glad I
workshop.
could save
I have
that
workshop envy.
and the money on those. By the way, those particular chairs are they are marked underneath the Windsors I'm working on. They were made by a company called Hearthstone, and they do say they're handmade. And I think Hearthstone is somewhere in New England. When I looked online, those very same style chairs are offered by Ethan Allen, and they're considerably expensive. So, in looking at the ones I've worked on so far, they're a very good quality chair.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they are definitely worth refurbishment and
Are you
reestablishing.
going to add your
them.
signature to the bottom of them? You want to. You totally should.
Well, the date that they were worked on. They're good for another 100 years.
Beautiful.
I don't know what a Windsor chair looks like.
So
I probably have
It
seen
has
these,
a-
but
Visit the library in a couple weeks.
There's many different varieties of a Windsor chair. They're usually the ones with the multitude of slats.
right.
oh,
This
like
is
these
The
things.
one at the
Okay.
top is what I'm
That's a
familiar with.
traditional one.
Okay.
And the one that you're Googling them. Scroll right there. It's all the way over to the right, second one in. There. That is the exact chair we're working on.
You know what? I actually have one of those chairs downstairs. It's all crapped up. I put my laundry basket on it. And I think I have two that go back to a doctor's office that my mother pilfered from when they were changing out their chairs.
Mm-hmm.
Really? Oh my.
I have one of those too.
Really? Well, if anybody feels they could donate them, I know someone who can refinish them so they look really nice.
I do use mine. That's my office chair.
Yeah, that's the chair to a T.
It is a very popular style and
Sturdy,
very
sturdy.
sturdy chairs. I
Because
can't-
of the way they have the V supporting the
those
back.
two spindles in the very back, I think
Yeah.
adds a lot of tensive support.
Yeah, it keeps
the
it
back.
from getting, most chairs, wooden chairs will get, the top will start getting loose.
Like
Yeah.
It eventually
crossfade.
pulls right out,
Yes.
but those don't.
Those two bars right there, I think
Yeah.
are what's holding these chairs so strong and tight. I have not had to re-glue the tops on any of them.
Right.
Cool. I can't
Oh,
wait to
that's
see them.
Nobody noticed, but I think Lee Lyons has sneaked on. Hey,
Oh,
Lee.
Hi, Lee.
Thank you, Lori.
Thank you, Laurie. Um,
I had no idea those were, $1,200 chairs.
I know.
wow. We can sell them.
If things get bad.
Well, you do have another set of chairs upstairs. They're
The cane
circa
chairs.
1910, and there's quite a few of them up there. And I was going to see about getting those back in good condition as well. But then as a group, you can decide, do you want to keep them for the library or do you want to sell them? But that may come at the other end of this year as,
Cool.
if time permits. But those are also a very well-made. I have the whole history of who designed the chairs, and they're not difficult to replace any that have the, what would you call that, webbing on the
The
seat.
cane.
cane.
Because they need recane.
Yeah, they sell caning by the sheet, and it's not too much trouble to pop off the old and put in some new. So those chairs would, considering their age, I don't think they need anything more than their seats replaced. And that's only in maybe 5 of them, and there's probably, at least 10 up there.
It was like just a pile, an indiscriminate pile of old cane chairs.
Yep, but those are a high quality chair. I called somebody that I work with who's in antiques, and she's like, those priceless. So, because they're original. And
Yeah, and if you have the history on them, I think that makes them more valuable.
so you could actually teach people about some of the original furnishings of the library.
Wouldn't that be something?
Fresh.
So these chairs, both genres, um, were high quality chairs. They realized they were going to be used in a library.
Yeah.
I think the two of the areas, as far as industry, you have restaurant and library, and you know that
I have, I
they're going to
have
be
a
run through their paces.
I have
So
a crazy idea. Um, for capital campaign, or whatever you want to call it, fundraising for building renovation. For $1,000 donation,
Give
you
you a
get
chair.
what? You get a historic chair. Ser-
So
I
whatever
don't
you
know.
want to decide, but yeah, I can
Well, Laura,
later in the year can start working on those chairs.
oh, that's
Thank you
we'll
even
talk
more.
later, but you need to you need to be compensated somehow for what you're doing. This is over and above. We love it.
Thank
No,
you.
it's those kind of things keep me busy during the winter. I I've been I have a nice workshop with quite a few tools that um, I'm fixing things from the cottages all winter, making signs and repairing furniture. So when I saw those, I'm like, bring them down. I can go right through them and get them all done.
Oh man.
Your workshop is amazing. Like anytime I have anything broken, I order it all.
Maybe we can do a field trip.
Hmm?
Well, I mean, I think there might be a field trip to Ellie's farm coming up for the garden club.
I heard that.
Well,
Yeah, I'm going to teach
when the
people how
weather
to
gets
trim.
nice, yeah, maybe we could sit by the beach, have a
Like a
meeting on the
rotating
water.
like tour of trustees' houses and properties for library programming.
Oh yeah, it's the garden scheme for the librarians.
Yep.
Perfect. Okay. All right. Well, we can sit by the water. It's coming. All right. We've already talked about capital campaign. So let's move on to friends.
Okay, what did oh, yeah, I did all the reports that I needed to do to the Attorney General, Massachusetts Attorney General and the Mass Secretary of State and to the IRS. So those ones is the Attorney General one that's really hard to do. And so you have to always have the correct numbers in order to comply with everything that they need. So that worked out well, and Justin helped me a lot on it. And the Friends annual meeting will be Saturday, April 25th at 10 in the morning. If anybody wants to come, it will be a Zoom meeting. Um, uh, and that's it. It doesn't, you can come or you don't have to come. You're not required to go there. So,
It would be great
but you're
if,
welcome to.
well, hopefully all of the trustees are friends. And so we all could attend if we wanted to, if we're anyone who's a friend, or even if you're not a friend, right, Ellie? Can you attend or do you have to be a friend?
I think you have to be a friend.
Okay.
We only like friends.
I'll be your friend.
Thank you.
Um, go ahead. You go on.
Oh, I don't actually have any updates on federal or state funding. Everything's still just kind of.
Oh, wait a minute. I have, I thought that was under friends. I have one quick thing under friends. And maybe I'll just I was going to try to introduce it at the annual meeting, but I wanted to, I talked it over with Ellie and she said present it to the trustees too. Um, my husband and I are puzzlers and we love our puzzles. So we have a collection. And this is the second year we've participated in the puzzle swap, sponsored by the Friends of the Uxbridge Library. And it was a huge success for them. I know they raised a lot of funds for it. Plus, it was a great way to get people in the library. Um, just a couple of things. They had a raffle. What you did was you could bring in your puzzles during the week. There were specific times, like 10 to 12, Monday through Friday, and then there was one day in the evening where you could drop off puzzles. The person there would check your puzzles and give you a ticket to how many puzzles you turned in. So then you come back Saturday morning and you come to the swap and you can take that many puzzles. Like we had a ticket for 15 puzzles. And you take your puzzles. You can leave puzzles there. People can buy puzzles. At the end of the day, they try to sell them. They also were doing a raffle where they sold chances to win a special puzzle table. And he said it was packed. I was at the Democratic caucus, so I didn't make it, but he said it was packed and it was just really successful. It ran really well. So I wasn't sure if it's something our friends could consider doing in the future. Just thought I'd throw it out there.
Well, right now, all we can really handle is the two book sale things, which include puzzles there. But this sounds like it's much more sophisticated, and so people that come and for the book sale stuff, we just have people give us whatever they feel like giving us. We don't have a specific price for anything. So somebody could pay a penny for a book or a puzzle or whatever, and or they could pay, $100 for it if they feel like it. So it's we just that's easy for us to do it that way, and so it would be, somebody like you, we'd probably say, yeah, you go ahead and do it, but we
But
just.
I'm a friend. I'd be willing to volunteer my time.
Okay. Well, then go for it then. But
We
we'll
come into
bring it up
lots
at
of
the annual
puzzles,
meeting
and I could get
too.
basically an infinite supply of puzzles if I started taking puzzles from the senior center.
Oh, good. Yeah. Okay. I know. Just thought I'd bring it up.
Everybody
Never mind.
donates puzzles to the library, and
I know. We're there every week for that.
so if you can turn any puzzles to money or just make them go away, that'd be great.
Well, then forget about it because it sounds like they end up with a lot of puzzles left over at the end.
Yeah,
I thought of that.
There are a bunch in the friends' room down in the basement, but
We could get
are
more.
still there. Yeah, but that
Speaking of the
sounds like
friends'
a much
room.
more. You don't want to make it part of a book sale because our book sales are give us what you want,
and they have to be like new. They can't be missing pieces. They can't be musty or moldy or dog
and
eared.
I'm not a puzzler, so and so I would not be a good person to be leading this because it's boy, you have to mush all those little pieces together. I remember doing them as a kid, but I haven't done them in 50 years or so. So.
All righty then.
But it might work, so it's just, but I think it would have to be unique puzzles, and that's it. Just the way you were describing it as Uxbridge had done it. That's complicated to me. So that's I don't want to get involved in that, but I think it's a good idea.
Okay.
If you want to pick it up and do it, then do it.
I will try to attend the meeting on the 25th. That's at 10.
Yep. And it's a Zoom thing. So right now, usually it's just um, the chair, vice chair, and secretary and treasurer are the ones that show up to it.
That's because you
But-
don't meet in person and have pizza.
Yeah, right. Exactly. That costs money. So. And it doesn't make us have to leave the house and stuff. It's an easy fix.
Oh, yeah, I agree. I totally agree. All right.
I want to interject really quick for Friends, because the Friends meeting is going to be too late to mention it, but we weeded the sci-fi collection and it takes up a whole corner of the Friends room. So we would like just as staff to take the sci-fi books out on Monday, May the 4th, which is Star Wars Day, because like May the 4th be with you, and set them up downstairs and have a Star Wars Day sci-fi book sale to try to move some of that stuff along before Memorial Day.
Sounds perfect.
Love it.
I don't have any updates on federal or state funding or bridge plan.
All right. Another old business. Um, before you go, just again, how late are we? I
So,
I participated in a Zoom presentation of trying to stay awake during open meeting laws presentation, but I was supposed to be able to send out the link to all the slides and the presentation, but it totally got lost and I haven't heard anything from anybody. So just a couple of highlights that I think we're good on everything. Um, one thing is one thing about meeting notices, okay, for open meeting laws, you have to post them 48 hours in advance, but they need to be accessible 24 hours a day, which means they have to be posted outside a building somewhere, whether it be on the municipal bulletin board or on the library board, but someplace, if somebody at 3 o'clock in the morning wants to find out what the next agenda is for the library, they can see it without having to go online. So that was just one thing that I wasn't sure. I don't know. I don't think it's being addressed, but it's something. I mean, it's nitpicking, but that was one
I
of the
send
things I
it
picked.
to, that's why I have to have things done by 10 o'clock on Thursday before the meeting because the town hall is open, and our meeting is at 6:30
Yeah,
p.m.
but
So
so
the
from
town hall is not opened on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I have to get it to them on Thursday.
I know that.
And
I
then
understand that.
Monday is the second day, or half a day or whatever. I
So
try to
if
get it to them by new time, and
somebody
then
wants to see the agenda and they don't have
okay, it
access
is
to the
posted at
internet.
town hall at the municipal center. Do you want Justin to post one at the library as well?
It would have to be outside, either at the library or the municipal center. And I wouldn't even push it. I'm just saying that was one thing, and I thought it was kind of weird because none of our sign doesn't have it. Well, we could stick a thing in there, but it would look goofy. And the same thing with the municipal center. So I don't know. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's
whatever.
tough. That's right
Could
down the line.
could Justin just post it on the door, the front door, like you have other stuff?
Yeah.
I
But it's
could.
not
Well, what
accessible.
about
But do
all
we
the
want
other
our
committees?
Zoom
Are they
meetings?
doing that?
I don't know. I think what they what by sending it to them ahead of time, and they'll say, "We've taken care of it." You know, the town clerk says that every time. You know,
Right.
you're
So
all set.
that's their responsibility then, right?
Mhm.
They
Yeah.
should be aware of this because I asked Chris Furno about, I had a couple questions for her, and supposedly they're informed of what these rules are. So I just thought that was just one thing. Um, uh, hmm. One thing when you're doing meeting remotely, like Zoom, like we do, if a person gets disconnected, you're supposed to record the moment in time if a person is disconnected. But again, um, it's just we're pretty much covered on everything. I mean, it was an hour and a half. It was interesting. It was a lot of information, but after I had a chat with Chris, I think we're covered on the main things. So we're good. I just wanted to share that. If I ever do find the slides, I'll send them to you so you can have some nice bedtime reading. But that's it. So new business, budgetary adjustments.
We don't need to talk about this anymore unless we want to. As just to like sum up the situation for the Zoom audience, if there is one, 2 years ago, well, 3 years ago, no, in FY25, the library's budget increased by over $100,000, which is a great step forward in terms of the services we've been able to offer the town. More materials, more hours, more staff, more programs, more everything. But next year is the year that that's kind of going to be codified as mandatory because the state tracks our budgets year to year. And every year, our budgets have to increase by 2.5% of the average of the last 3 fiscal years. FY24, that was 290,000. In FY25, it jumped to almost $400,000. And that's where we've been hovering at ever since then. Next year, the last of the pre-expansion years drops off of the math. So, like this year, we only had to be funded at $380,000 to be certified. By certification, we get our state aid, we get, reciprocal borrowing privileges with other libraries. Being decertified is very bad. Next year, that number is going to jump to about $425,000, which is a number that me and the town administrator have talked about extensively over the last week or so, and we met today because I wanted to make sure he was aware of what our MAR was about to do, especially given next year's budget is shaping up to be very tumultuous. And when I offered that as a solution, his response was basically absolutely not. Because he does not want to retreat on services that we've provided. We're a valuable part of the town. We're not the problem. We're one of the only departments which have actually worked with, the government at large to reduce our burden rather than increase it. And by virtue of that, I mean, he wants us to have that MAR next year as a protective factor so that our budget won't get eaten. So that's where the town administrator stands. The budget we've submitted is the budget that will be going to town meeting unless we want to voluntarily reduce it to bring MAR numbers sort of on a safer trajectory. What it does is it basically would put us, if we cut our budget down to $380,000 this year, it would like put us 4 years backwards on the math. So it would be 4 more years before we have to get to that 425,000 number, which in terms of the overall municipal budget is peanuts. So I think as long as Matt is our town administrator, we won't have a hard time reaching our MAR.
So we're not in danger of losing the $20,000 we get a year from the state. That's one of the things that we get from them.
If we became decertified, we would lose that.
I just want to. I feel very strongly that we should not ever lose the municipal appropriation requirement. That's the MAR.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever it takes to not lose it, I think you should do everything possible for that. I think it's very nice that the town administrator is in favor of this, but the town itself, if it's needs it's what the town can afford, as well.
Layer 6. But yeah, I wanted to be frank. So I, asked him, I pointed out the 2 tracks, if we stayed on course or if we reduced. And, could the town sustain it? And I mean, from his perspective, the numbers just aren't different enough to matter. And he wants to protect our budget. That's where he is. I've sent extensive emails, so y'all kind of know where my head's at. So I think ultimately this has to be, a trustee decision whether to amend the budget or not.
And the MBLC was not really in favor of reducing our budget. They just thought we could go through the waiver process if necessary.
Yeah, that was kind of what they said, but they're also being cognizant of the fact that they can only be cognizant of the last 3 fiscal years. Kate said,
right.
That is an awkward situation to be in, but if we can get the funding, if the town is going to be able to fund us at those levels, it won't matter. And if it can't, we will have to, demonstrate proportional cuts from that level rather than a previous level. Which I think, like if next year crap hits the fan and the town can't fund us, and everyone ends up sharing the pain equally, then our waiver is guaranteed.
Right.
If the only reason I can see that not being the case is if we come up against the school net minimum spend. But at that point, it's out of the town's hands. So the waiver should still be honored.
So the reason we couldn't get the waiver during the whole override situation is because we and the senior center were, well, we were specifically
It was not
drastically cut non-proportionally.
It was about as non-proportional as possible.
Yep.
Do we vote on something like this or not?
I mean, I think if nobody does anything, our budget's the way our budget's submitted. So someone would have to make a motion to amend it, or reduce it if we wanted to change course.
I just don't want to lose the MAR. I think it's important to have the interlibrary loans that we borrow from other
Decertification
libraries.
is the worst case scenario. We're on the same page, which is why I wanted to think about this and make sure everyone had all of the information, and talk to Matt about it. And I was kind of honestly expecting to come away from the conversation with a different answer. I was not expecting him to be as protective of our budget as he is, but I mean, he really values the library. And it always ends up being, like the rest of the municipal departments, and the schools, because they're the vast majority of the budget and the rest of us are kind of over here. And so the non-proportional part of a budget cut, if we get cut next year, would be the schools. If the town's strong-armed into not cutting proportionally because it all does have to go to the schools by state mandate, then I can't see any reason why a waiver wouldn't be granted. And if it wouldn't be, then we should go burn the MBLC down.
Hmm. Ah,
So I've made my speech. So I'm just not in favor of losing the MAR stuff.
I agree.
Nobody's in favor of that.
Yeah, nobody wants that. That's why we're
Nobody is
having
in
this
favor of that.
conversation. I don't have a crystal ball. But I mean, everyone's kind of in a bad spot right now. Libraries are getting hit bad enough this year that the MPLC is updating all of the language and the signage and the brochures and the handouts regarding decertification and certification. So this is conversations that they're having now, because for most municipalities, the proverbial crap is hitting the fan this year. Douglas's strong economic position, the growth we've had in the last few years, and the fact that we had kind of been banking for a big construction project up the road that's not going to happen, has put Douglas in like pretty much the best position possible, which is why we're able to kind of not do hard things this year. But next year's looking uncertain.
There was an interesting story, probably a couple weeks ago now, about the Quincy Library that's going to lose their funding. They're going to be, they're then looking at an override to stay afloat. But it's one of those, they did a extensive interview and programming and looking at everything. It's one of those places that got this giant grant. Now the municipality is having to maintain it, and with the biggest thing is health insurance costs,
Yeah.
and it's just putting them out of the loop. And they're looking at this beautiful building that they're going to lose everything. And so I think Douglas, in our smallness, is kind of in a relatively good situation because we don't have that much to lose. Granted, we all have something to lose, but it's not like that. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
So,
with big buildings comes a lot of baggage.
yeah.
I know Grafton, they have a brand new facility, but they're looking at $75,000 cut if they don't pass an override. And Holden is looking at just decertification. Like they don't have a path out yet.
Wow.
But our fiscal footprint is small. Our building is small. Doesn't take a lot to maintain. Our staff is also pretty small compared to most libraries, and we hit above our weight with circulation. And well, circulation, which, in my mind at least, is still the primary purpose of libraries. I got so mad at the Massachusetts Board of Library Commissioners infographic on state aid legislative agenda that I put it in the recycling rather than put it on the circulation desk because it's 2 pages. They spend one paragraph on the fact that literacy rates are falling, and it's first generation of Massachusetts students that are objectively less well off than the previous generation. And then the entire rest of it is about social workers and libraries, maker spaces. Every books aren't mentioned another time. Reading is not mentioned another time. Literacy is not mentioned another time. And I feel like keeping our focus on, what a library is supposed to be, and not trying to be all things to all people at all times, the way, all of the big grant funded public construction libraries are is good.
So you're really good at what you
Libraries
do.
can't take on the needs left by the gaps of the rest of society kind of pulling out of the public service network, which is what a lot of libraries are trying to do, and good for them, but it's going to destroy us, I feel like, because libraries won't be libraries anymore. It'll be the social work, community center, mental health haven. That's what bigger libraries are kind of moving towards. And you can't do that and do books. Whenever the funding drops, which ball are you going to drop? Because if you try to just do bad jobs at everything, then you're going to do a good job at nothing.
That's it.
I haven't had dinner yet, so I'm
Yeah,
hoping we'll wind up this.
Yeah, okay.
What the
I know it's
NBLC
getting late.
recommended was dialing back a little bit, which we kind of already did, because we were originally slated at 417. We reduced ourselves to 410. We reduced our budget from the last fiscal year. So I think as far as they're concerned, we've kind of done our due diligence. Town government is supportive of us. So I'm comfortable rolling the dice on this if the board is. And,
As long as we don't lose the MAR.
I mean, again, I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know what could happen. Matt could retire. All the selectmen could be replaced. And we could get cut until we lose Mar. I don't know. But, based on the information I have at this time and the path before me and the support we have from the government, my gut is that we stay the course.
I agree.
That's not the answer I would have given you last week. But now it is.
Yeah, I think you're right. Do we need to take a vote of
I'd
support
prefer
for
not to.
Justin? Yeah,
We're not changing
I agree.
anything. So
I just wanted to put it out there. I think we're good. Like Ellie says over and over, we as trustees, we're assigned this task of keeping the library going as far as the building goes and the programs go and all of that stuff. And we're doing what we can. We're doing the best we can, I think. I mean, we're always coming up with ways to, like this whole idea of a door getting in the back. Little things, I think, is a good thing. So I know Ellie hasn't eaten yet. She doesn't. She's getting hangry.
Yeah. I'm getting hungry.
Well, hangry is what we call it with the grandchildren.
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right. So if we have no other new business, hearing none, our next meeting will be April 28th, 2026, 6:30 p.m.
Oh, I will, I'm going to be missing this meeting. So hopefully that doesn't mess up the quorum.
Okay. you can take off. Thank you for letting us know. Because
Sure.
again, I will remind trustees, if you're not going to be able to make a meeting, just let somebody else know. It's appreciated. All right. So, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Here a second.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Don't you dare. Okay. We're adjourned.